So we're here at Michael Benneville Studios, and this is my friend Michael Benneville, this is my friend Andrea Kersner, and we're all involved in a project together, and Andrea's going to talk about her foundation, Art of Humanity, and what we are doing together with OmniPeace, and this little project here that looks so exciting.
Okay, Art of Humanity is about art exchange programs between children in the United States and children at risk, predominantly right now in Africa. We did a program where we did an exchange between high school kids in New York City. We took lanterns across that they painted and drew to shelters in Eastern Kivu with UNICEF. We worked in 2 shelters, a shelter for former child soldiers, or a shelter called BVS, which houses approximately 100 children who were formerly of the armed conflict, forced armed conflict, and then we worked at a shelter called FSH, which is a shelter for children, girls who've been raped, and former child prostitutes, and also former boy soldiers. So the whole idea was to take something that we could leave behind for those children and to bring something back and to tell these children's stories through artwork. And the idea was each lantern would tell 4 stories. So for example, well, this lantern wasn't 4 stories, this lantern was, what I asked the children was, draw an image of when you were captured or a violent memory of during the time of captivity, whether it's as a child who's been raped, a child in the armed forces, and then an image of hopes and dreams of your future. Nice. So, and then in between, just to do something pretty and colorful. So as you can see, some of these children are exceptionally talented, and this child who drew a picture of a woman being raped, and then his hopes and dreams of the future, to have a nice car, family and marriage. And these are the 2 drawings from boys who were formerly in the armed forces. Initially, and then it started taking too long, and that's how I went to 2 pretty pictures and then before and after drawings. Initially I said to them, please give me an image from before your captivity. So here you can see the image was he's going to school, his school, you know, beautiful symbols, birds, farming, houses. And the scale of the gun, the knife, wow. And even just, you know, the blood and everything. And
these aren't images that are drawn from television or right. Movies. Sure. This is real experience. Yeah. So we came up with this lantern. This is what it looks like when it's completed. But it had to travel there flat, and it had to come back flat. And then here in the studios, we all got together, 10 or 15 friends and right. People and students, and have been assembling lanterns as needed for different functions.
It's beautiful. So Andrea came to me with this amazing project, and I had a very successful run with the OmniPeace t-shirt line the first year, and I knew that we needed to do something fresh and new. And I also wanted to do a different campaign. When this was brought to me, I thought, how interesting, not for me just to support one charity all the time, but to support a different charity every year. In the Congo, for some reason, it kept being brought up. So we came up with the idea to make all of these, you know, do a collaboration of all of the pictures into a print, into the body of the logo.
Andrea and Mary sat down with hundreds and hundreds of these images and went through and culled all the things that they thought were the most powerful things. And we would take an image like this, we'd scan it, and we've collaged them into a world. It's the work of hundreds of children now being turned into one composition. It's a collaboration between crayons in Africa and tablets that weren't even around 3 or 4 years ago. So you have this highly digitized thing, and then you have this completely rudimentary organic thing, and we're able to create one Africa and one logo out of this experience in Congo.
These pictures of Kimbumba in North Kivu, Congo, are the last such scenes before it was recently destroyed, burned to the ground by rebel invasion. What was already a desperate scene became another frightening chapter in a story that has continued too long. With the help of UNICEF, a program called The Art of Humanity accessed these shelters, bringing music and art to help child victims share their stories with the rest of the world. This is Pai Pai. At 10 years old, he was recruited into the armed forces. By the time he was 12, he was already forced to kill and rape.
The first time I raped a woman, I was 12 years, and after raping, after ejaculating, I felt really extremely exhausted. So what I'm going to say is maybe what is true in the eyes of God and the people. I think I might have killed something like 20 persons. Some of them were killed. I killed them with a knife, others with a machete, and others with a gun. She was just trying to pick up some vegetables, and now the boys suddenly come and they want to rape her.
So many boys, lots of boys.
They threw the basket and they told me, well, look, since now on you become our wife. We bring you to the forest. Some lifted me from the legs, others from the head, others from the arms, and then this is how they brought me. They said, okay, they started raping me. Then they brought me in the camp. Sometimes they used to urinate in the food. They asked me to eat, and then I started praying God. People, some are dead. They are running away the Hutu invasion in the village.
The child victims of violence, rape, and armed conflict continue to seek shelter. The Art of Humanity will continue to share these stories, to be heard in music, to be seen in art and film.